Bitcoin, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Wednesday the 11th of November. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 15,288 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 15,498. We need to see support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high that was at 15,474. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 15,500 to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Bitcoin target the second major resistance level at 15,685 and resistance at 15,700 before any pullback. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 15,101 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 15,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 14,891. Looking at the MACD, a slight widening of the bullish histograms following yesterday's late bullish cross, supportive of the early upside. The 50 EMA is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, also supporting the early morning rise. So key through the early part of the day would be to avoid the pivot and break back through that first major resistance level at 15,498 to then target 15,700 levels. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, it's a bullish start to the morning. Going to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 448.59 to target the first major resistance at 457.81. Support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high. Those at 455.51. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 464.74 to come into play. Fall through the pivot, got the first major support level sitting at 441.66. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of the second major support level sitting at 432.44. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a widening of the bullish histogram after yesterday's late bullish cross, supporting the morning upside. On the MA, we're seeing the 50 pull away slightly from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of the bullish morning ahead. So, key through the early part of the day, avoid a pullback through that pivot level, break back through to 455 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, particularly bullish start to the day here after yesterday's sell-off. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a pullback through the pivot at 58.24 to continue a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 59.36. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to hold on to 59 levels, however. So barring an extended rally through the day, that first major resistance level and resistance at 60 should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, second major resistance level at 60.75 would likely come into play. A fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 56.85 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the 23.6% fib at 54. Second major support level at 55.73 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a marked widening of the bullish histogram supportive of this early move. On the EMA, we're seeing the 50 narrow on the 100 and move away from the 200, also indicative of a bullish day ahead. So avoiding the pivot and a break through that first major resistance level at 59.36 will bring 60 levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, also bullish start to the morning here after an early pullback. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.2556 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.2631. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.26 levels, however. Barring an extended rally through the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.27 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.2720. A fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2467 into play. Barring an extended sell-off through the day, Ripple's XRP should still well clear of sub 0.24 levels. Second major support level sets at 0.2393. On the MACDs, we've got a slight narrowing of the bearish histogram, but nothing conclusive for the day ahead, so need to keep an eye on the MACDs. On the EMA, we're seeing the 50 move away marginally from the 100 and the 200, supportive of the early upside. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.2556, break back through to 0.26 levels, to then bring resistance levels into play.